Mr. McNamara.
Colin, McNamara, 47 Grandview Street.
Good evening, Mr. McNamara.
Hey, I was at the Board of Ed meeting too, and I thought it was unprofessional that they delayed the meeting twice, and then in the afternoon of the meeting, they changed the venue from Lincoln Center to the high school without telling anyone really. I mean, I came down here, it was empty, and I had to struggle to find it. But hey, and then when I went there, I knocked on the door, and the security guard didn't want to let me up. He says, it's going to end soon, it's 8:05. The meeting lasted almost 10:15, and I had to argue with the guy to get in. It was a treat. But anyway, I want to congratulate the town on its approval of the Manchester Next Plan for Development and Conservation. The plan was crafted with the help of Tennessee-based Urban Design Collaborative, LLC, and the town's planning department, and was adopted by the Planning and Zoning Commission within the last week or two. Through a series of public forums that used the Delphi technique, the town was able to accomplish the predetermined goals they were going for while paying lip service to the idea that public participation, that residents' voices actually mattered. Now comes the important work of implementing the plan's recommendations, namely the adoption and implementation of a smart city infrastructure that will track and trace residents' movements and daily habits through the use of a variety of technologies, namely one of them being license plate readers. And here's an article from the GII from Eric Bender, and it's talking about how the American Civil Liberties Union has stiff concerns regarding the use of this technology, and that they don't find this technology to be any use in the solving of crime, and it'd be more, potentially even more problematic to simulate the technologies that are located on actual police cruisers, and that you guys are placing these at the borders of town, which basically is a de facto border enforcement. It's just interesting for you to consider. July 26, 2023, Eric Bender, article in the GI. This is just the first step in a plan to limit residents' access and use of the resources and modifying their behavior and how they can use their property in the future through zoning regulations and enforcement. And according to Mr. Gary Anderson, the use of zoning is the best way to modify people's behavior, even if it's not for their long-term interests. That's not what he said, but that's my addition. Switching gears to a note of housekeeping. Last month we had a bunch of people come down and give you guys some criticism for your canceling of the bicentennial concert. And I was looking over the minutes. We had a group of 7 individuals who came to talk, most of them being young men and women. And I thought they gave some really articulate and well thought out comments. And I thought it was very illustrative of the town's continuous policy to stifle and minimize any criticism of their actions and how they do business. Because you had 7 different people speak, but you only listed their names and addresses, and you gave 7 people 3 lines of texts. It's just disappointing, but I would say it's not surprising. Lastly, I have a request. With all the town's promotion of certain political groups and their desire to fly politically charged flags on the town's flagpoles, I ask that the board consider flying this flag to represent and stand in solidarity with all the town's residents who see the continuous and accelerated destabilization and downward trajectory of the United States. And it not only represents the government's heinous track record of throwing coups in foreign countries for political and monetary gain, but also its perpetual debasement of our currency and its purchasing power through the injection of trillions of dollars into the fiat monetary system, resulting in the hidden tax of inflation that affects our most vulnerable and disproportionately affected populations. I hope you guys consider this proposal. I'd be happy to provide several flags that you can fly in different flagpoles around town so all the town residents can see. And lastly, I don't know if any of you guys had the opportunity to watch the Real Anthony Fauci documentary that I loaned to Director Reichelt, but I'll probably ask for it back in the next week. So if you haven't had a chance and you actually want to see maybe a different perspective on the issue, you should check it out. Thanks for your time, and maybe I'll see you next month. Appreciate it.
Thank you.